Welcome in, everyone. We're diving into the magical world of Mary Hollow today.
Oh, this one's going to be fun.
It really is, from what I've seen so far. We've got the first 20 chapters of Yuletide Spirits to dig into.
And let me tell you, this world, this Merry Hollow place,
It's something else, right?
it really is. Imagine a town.
It's Christmas every day there.
Every single day, you've got gingerbread houses, but not just any gingerbread houses.
I've got those little gumdrop chimneys, right?
Exactly. Gumdrop chimneys, candy cane lampposts lighting the streets.
And you just know it's got to smell amazing all the time.
Oh, absolutely. Pine and peppermint everywhere.
Now, it sounds delightful on the surface,
Oh, for sure.
but there's always more to it than meets the eye, especially in a
Mhm.
place like Mary Hollow, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. See, this whole eternal Christmas thing, it makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does. What happens to time in a place like that? To tradition? To just, well, life as we know it?
Right. It's not just about decorations and carols. It's about the very fabric of existence.
And that's where things get really interesting, I think.
Oh, totally.
So we're introduced to this world through the eyes of Holly Evergreen. She's a witch, owns this charming little bakery called the Gingerbread Cottage Bakery.
And she's our guide, our window into this magical place.
Exactly. What else can you tell us about her? She seems like quite the character.
Oh, she's fantastic. She's warm. She's got that holiday spirit, bakes these amazing enchanted treats.
Yeah, I was wondering about those. Enchanting your pastries. That's taking your baking skills to a whole new level.
Right. But she's also very intuitive. She can sense when something's off, which is good because things take a turn in chapter 2.
That's putting it lightly. The murder of Mayor Kringle definitely throws a wrench in the holiday chair.
It really does.
Okay.
And the way he's found, frozen solid.
Chilling, to
Yeah.
say the least. Pun intended, of course.
Couldn't help myself. But it's a powerful image. And what makes it even more unsettling is that the town's Christmas tree, the big one, it dims at the exact same moment.
Almost as if Mary Hollow itself is hurting.
Exactly. Like its heart just skipped a beat.
So we've got a murder, and a magical one at that, which obviously complicates things. And as if that weren't enough, we have this mysterious stranger, Jack Frost, who arrives right before everything goes down.
Talk about bad timing, right?
Makes you wonder if he's our prime suspect, doesn't it?
It's tempting to point the finger, especially in a genre where new faces often mean new problems. But remember, this is Mary Hollow. Magic changes everything.
So we're not just looking for a killer, we're looking for a motive that could involve magic.
Exactly. And as we get deeper into Yuletide Spirits, we start to see the cracks beneath the surface of this picture-perfect town. We've got financial scandals brewing, these clandestine meetings taking place.
Wait, there's a dragon involved too, right?
Can't forget about the dragon. And it's not exactly thrilled with the way things are going in Mary Hollow.
Okay, you got to give me more details on that one later. So we've got Holly, our resident witch, who stumbles upon a murder with magical ties. We've got this whole cast of characters, each with their own secrets.
And we're just getting started.
I'm hooked.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
Well, Holly, being a witch with a nose for trouble, or should I say a cauldron for trouble, decides to investigate. And she's not alone. She teams up with that mysterious Jack Frost we talked about.
Interesting. So they join forces to uncover the truth behind the murder.
They do. But what's fascinating is that their investigation doesn't just lead them to the killer, it leads them to the hidden heart of Mary Hollow itself, a place where the past is never too far behind the tinsel and twinkling lights.
This whole hidden heart of Mary Hollow thing, you've got me intrigued, I've got to say. Where does their investigation lead them? What are they looking for exactly?
Well, they end up in some pretty interesting places. One of the first is this place called the Whispering Woods. Sounds spooky, right?
A little bit, yeah. What's so special about these woods?
They're like this hub of ancient magic. People in Mary Hollow, they've got all these stories about it, these legends passed down through generations.
And I'm guessing those legends have something to do with Mary Hollow's eternal Christmas.
You know it. Local lore says this is where the founders of the town first stumbled upon the source of the magic, the thing that makes Christmas last all year round.
So Holly and Jack, they're hoping to find some answers in these woods, something that ties into the murder.
Exactly. They're thinking maybe, just maybe, the past holds the key to the present, you know? And they get lucky because while they don't find, like, I don't know.
A magical smoking gun?
Yeah, something like that. But what they do find is almost better, a hidden archive right under the town hall.
No way. What's in the archive?
It's full of these old books, scrolls, all these records of Mary Hollow's history, really fragile stuff. And it turns out
There's more to Mary Hollow than gingerbread and sugar plums.
way more. The stuff they find paints a very different picture of the town. It's a past that's more complex, more, well, human than you might think, especially with all the eternal Christmas stuff going on.
Okay, now you're just being cryptic. What kind of secrets are we talking about here?
We're talking secrets about power struggles, about hidden agendas. There are even hints of a darker side to the magic, the kind that makes you wonder if eternal Christmas comes at a price.
And this is where the Guardians of Yuletide come in.
Bingo. The archive, it reveals their existence. They're this super secretive organization, totally dedicated to preserving Mary Hollow's traditions and obviously its magic.
Secret societies, huh? Always up to something. But if they're supposed to be the good guys, protecting Mary Hollow and all, why are Holly and Jack suspicious of them?
Because it turns out they're not content with just protecting the magic. These guardians, they want to control it, to shape it according to their own vision.
Sounds a bit power hungry, if you ask me.
That's putting it mildly. And they're not afraid to get their hands dirty to get what they want, even if it means resorting to some pretty extreme measures.
Like murder.
Well, let's just say they're not afraid of bending the rules, especially when it comes to preserving their idea of what Mary Hollow should be.
So it's not just about one murder anymore, is it? It's bigger than that.
Way bigger. Holly and Jack, they stumble upon what looks a whole lot like a conspiracy that goes way back, something rooted deep in Mary Hollow's history.
Okay, now we're talking. This is what I love about a good mystery. So it's a conspiracy, but what's the end game? What are the Guardians really after?
Here's the kicker. They want to share eternal Christmas with the whole world. They think everyone should live like they do, in a perpetual state of holiday cheer.
Hold on. They want to, like, magically force the entire world into a never-ending Christmas?
That's what it looks like. And they believe wholeheartedly that they're doing the right thing.
Wow. Okay, so the Guardians, I mean, they really believe that forcing eternal Christmas on everyone is a good idea.
They do, yeah. It's a classic case, you know?
Of what?
Of thinking you know what's best for everyone, even if it means, well...
It's taking away their choices.
Yeah, basically. And it's ironic, right? Because we usually think of Christmas as this joyful, heartwarming time. But here, in Yuletide Spirits, it becomes a tool, something used to control people. It makes you wonder, doesn't it?
About what?
About what we lose when we try to force things like happiness or tradition. I mean, imagine a world without seasons, without change. It wouldn't be natural.
Yeah, you're right. It'd be kind of unsettling, actually. So,
yeah.
Holly and Jack, how do they even begin to stop something like that? I mean, you're talking about going up against magic, tradition, a whole organization.
It's a tall order, that's for sure. But they've got one thing going for them.
What's that?
They understand what Christmas is really about. It's not about gingerbread houses or magic or even Santa Claus. It's about, well, it's about...
Spirit of it all.
Exactly. That generosity, that love, that genuine kindness. And you can't force those things. They have to come from within.
So it's more than just a fight against the Guardians, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. It becomes this battle of ideas. Holly and Jack, they represent a different way of looking at things. And it all comes to a head on Christmas Eve. Talk about high stakes.
I bet. Tell me everything. What happens?
Picture this. The town square, it's like something out of a storybook, right? But then
what?
Everything goes haywire. It becomes this magical war zone, spells flying everywhere, gingerbread men battling enchanted toys. The author really outdid themselves with this scene, let me tell you.
And I'm guessing Cornelius Candy Cane is right in the thick of it.
Oh, he's there front and center. Turns out our jolly deputy mayor is a high-ranking guardian. And he's not just handing out candy canes anymore, if you know what I mean.
Oh, I bet. And Mrs. Claus. She's involved too, right?
Yeah, and this is where it gets heartbreaking.
How so?
We find out she's been pulling the strings all along. She's the one who wanted Mayor Kringle gone. She manipulated the Guardians, used their desire for control to get what she wanted. It's tragic, because you can see how her good intentions just got twisted, how her desire to share Christmas with the world became this need for control.
It's a good reminder, though, isn't it? That even good intentions can lead to bad places. But do they stop her? What happens to Mary Hollow?
It's a close one, let me tell you. But in the end, yeah, Holly and Jack, they defeat the Guardians. Mrs. Claus is held accountable for what she did, and Mary Hollow. Well, things change. The eternal Christmas, it's broken, the snow starts to melt, and people have to figure out how to live in a world where every day isn't a holiday.
That's a lot to process.
It is.
Yeah.
But it's also a powerful reminder, don't you think?
Yeah.
About the choices we make, about the power we have, each of us, to decide what kind of world we want to live in. And that sometimes Letting go of a tradition or an idea can be the bravest, most magical thing we can do.
It really makes you think. Well, that was quite the deep dive into the world of Yuletide spirits. We uncovered magic, murder, and a whole lot of holiday havoc. What a wild ride.
Tell me about it.
And to think, this is just one story set in one magical town. It really makes you wonder what other secrets are out there hidden beneath the surface of our own world. But for now, that's all the time we have. We'll see you next time for another deep dive.